Hey, it's Wednesday, March 18th. By the way, I've still been putting different kids up there in the dates. I don't know how well you can see it on the video, if you can try to zoom in. It's also weird. It looks like my whole thing looks like it's like a black outfit, but I'm wearing like a tie. It has like Yoda on it. Can you see a little Yoda? Anyway, I was trying. It just looks really weird in my version of it. I don't know. Anyway, continue on from here. Again, welcome to day 3 of our coronavirus lockdown and all the depressing stuff that goes along with there. I figured you guys are probably getting bored being stuck in your house at this point, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you guys are still enjoying it and it feels like fun. But we're going to get past that at some point. We're just going to get real tired. Again, the whole Olympians for 5B points, posting it to TikTok and Instagram. Thank you for those of you who had. It's been proving to be highly entertaining, and I enjoy it. It gives us a chance to interact with each other. And the more we can do that and feel like we're actually humans and seeing each other, forgot to start my timer. That's all right. I figure the better off things are going to be. I'm going to keep trying to come up with other things. I have some ideas. So anyway, stay tuned. We'll see what happens. All right. So, quick rewindy thing. Again, I think today's video will be shorter-ish again. Maybe shorter than before. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, so for here we have the Pomegranate Seeds. The thing from the seasons with Hades trying to kidnap his wife. Here's again where I wish I could have like conversations with you guys. I'm going to ask you questions and like interact and stuff like that, but apparently we can't, because I'd be like, hey, who did he try to go after? Persephone. And then I would say, who was Persephone's mom? And he'd be like, Demeter. And we'd have all these conversations. And I was like, who did he have to get permission from? And you'd say, Zeus. But apparently we don't get to have fun conversations like that. But anyway, we'll have to see what we can do with it. So Pomegranate, so he does the whole like kidnapping her, then she has to be stuck in the underworld for the 5 to 7 months because she's the Pomegranate Seeds. And again, hopefully you get a chance to go to the grocery store and and it's not rioting and stuff like that. You get a chance to go in there and try to get a pomegranate. I know Meyer has them depending on when you go in the time of year, but right now, who knows what's going to be out there. But anyway, Pomegranate Seeds, and then she has to stay down there. And then this is where they have the together. When they're together, it's summertime, and then when Persephone has to leave, it goes into fall, and then when they're apart, it's winter, and then it goes from there into spring, and then from spring all the way back around at that point. And then, let's see, we did the whole Prometheus story. Let's see, hang on 1 second. Time out. And back. Had to take a quick time out. Don't worry about it. All right, so Prometheus, we did the whole Prometheus story too with him trying to give fire down to humans and Zeus saying you can't give fire to humans. The main reasons being that they're going to burn down the entire world, and then the other reason being that he didn't want them to be able to poke him in the bottom of the foot. But then Prometheus goes behind his back and says, I'm going to go ahead and give humans fire anyway because I didn't want them to die off, and Zeus gets all mad and grumpy. And this was him giving him the whole fire thing, and so he teaches humans fire, the whole stick thing. And then he gets tortured, and then here's where, once again, his tortures, where he gets chained to the top of a mountain, and the fire comes by and burns off all of his skin from the sun, and then at the nighttime he freezes and turns into a giant Prometheus popsicle, and then a giant eagle lands on top of his lap and then rips out his liver and eats it, as eagles tend to do. And then flies away and goes all flap and stuff like that. And he says, all you have to do again is answer a question for me. That question being, who is going to overthrow me? When Prometheus says no, he says, who is the parent of the person who's going to overthrow me? And again, he says no. So now, Zeus is upset, today's story, fingers crossed, is upset about this whole humans having fire thing. Really bothers him. And so much like in my class, whenever someone talks, 2 kids get in trouble, both the person who spoke and the person who listened, same thing kind of happens here for Zeus. So he decides he is going to punish both Prometheus and the person who received fire, which is humans. But here's where it gets a little bit tricky, because he wants to punish humans for, being sneaky and getting fire when they weren't supposed to, but he has to punish them without them knowing that they're getting punished. Because his worry is, if humans know that he's punishing them, they're going to stop sacrifice to him. He's going to lose his popularity. So he has to go extra sneaky mode on this one. So he comes up with a plan. And he calls this plan Operation Pandora. Here's how Operation Pandora works. Zeus goes and talks to Hephaestus and goes, Hephaestus, I want you to create for me a new Titan, but we're going to start with it being a human, and we're going to turn it into a Titan. So create for me a mold of who you think the most beautiful person in the world would be, and turn that one into a human. And Hephaestus goes, all right, done. So he goes ahead and starts creating a mold of who he thinks the most beautiful person in the world is. Who would he see? This is where I miss you guys. All right, because I'd ask the question, and you guys respond back to me. We get to have a conversation. And I say, hey, who does Hephaestus think the most beautiful woman is? And then you'd have like that random kid who'd yell out Zeus. And we're like, what's wrong with you? And he's like, what? He'd have a thought. We'd all make fun of him together. We'd get like a laugh and a chuckle. We don't have that. So just like turn around, like make fun of your brother or something, and just be like, oh, that was from Mr. Broviak, and have like a little
that idiot brother.
Like see, then you have like that random kid that yells out and gets in trouble. Stop yelling out random I just pre-recorded that. There's a button I can hit that just a random kid yells out and gives me thing. Anyway, I'm trying it to see if it helps keep me sane. Back to here. So Hephaestus goes ahead and creates this mold in who he thinks the most beautiful woman is, which is Aphrodite, his wife. So creates a human in the image of Aphrodite. But before they sprinkle the dust and bring her to life, Zeus then goes around and says, I want every Olympian to give her a gift, something that we're going to put inside of her that's going to make her perfect. Pandora, the name, actually means in Greek, many gifts. Pan, meaning many. Dora, meaning small Hispanic girl who plays with monkey. Kidding. Dora means gifts, so her name meant many gifts, and so which is why you have like the Pandora radio station, because you're supposed to have like all of these things that come from one. You have in Avatar, the Blue Cat movie, the planet they land on is called Pandora because there's so many different things there that are like gifts to everybody. So Pandora literally means many gifts in one thing. So Zeus goes around and takes this little god creature with him and shows him to all of the different Olympians, says give her a different gift. So like Hera gives her the ability to be forgiving. Athena gives her the ability to be wise. Hermes gives her the ability to be quick-witted. It's like each god comes up with a thing and like give her this ability and like smash it deep into the clay in her head. Before Zeus sprinkles on the dust to turn her into a real person and then turn her into a titan by giving her the nectar and ambrosia, what he ends up doing, is he takes this little kernel of curiosity. And he takes this kernel of curiosity, beep, and he pushes it deep. It worked perfectly in the video, by the way. And it pushes it deep into her brain and lets it sit in there. And he puts this curiosity in there. And that's part of his plan, Operation Pandora. He then takes Pandora and then turns her into a real human, sprinkle, sprinkle, and then turns her from there into a titan by giving her nectar and ambrosia, and then takes her down and gives her as a gift to the creator of the race of humans. Not Prometheus, who's tied up on a mountain, but the creator of the current race of humans. No one's here to answer. Epimetheus. And so he goes down to Epimetheus like, hey, Epimetheus, did I ever thank you for creating humans? And Epimetheus is like, no, all you do is yell at me and make me cry. And Zeus is like, you're such a kid. So how about I give you a gift? And Epimetheus is like, oh, okay, what kind of gift is it? Is it where you're going to kick me in the shins again? And Zeus goes, no, not a gift like that, a real gift. And he steps to the side and in walks Pandora. He goes, I'm going to give you a wife. Her name is Pandora. And everybody's like, oh, that's so nice of you. Thank you. And he goes, not a problem at all. He's like, have fun, you crazy kids, and I'll see you later. And Zeus, takes off, leaves them there. That's the first part of his plan. He then spends some time and then waits before he activates the second part of his plan. The second part of his plan, he goes and takes this gigantic box. Some stories say it's a jar. Some stories say it's a box, but some kind of container. And he starts going around. This is like after several years have gone by, and Zeus has been waiting this whole time for his revenge. So he goes around to each god again. And he goes, hey, here's what I want you to do. I want you to create the most evil thing you can think of, turn it into a ghost, and put it in the box. I want to have a box of evil things, just to, for storage and safekeeping. So each god comes up with a thing. Like Hera comes up with jealousy. She's like, oh, my husband's always being so friendly. Jealousy. And she turns it into a ghost, puts it into the box. Ares comes up with being a bully and the idea of being mean to other people for the fun of it. Turns it into a ghost, crams it into there. Dionysus comes up with drunken poor choices. And he goes oh, that'd be the best thing ever. And again, turns it into a ghost, crams it into the box. And eventually he gets to Athena. And he goes, Athena, I want you to create the most horrible, evil thing you can think of. We're going to put it into this box for safe thinking. And Athena, unlike the other gods, goes, why? And Zeus does not have a good reason. He's like, because it's good to have a box of evil. Just put something in the box. So Athena realizes that Zeus is up to something. So if he wants her to put something evil in the box, she's going to do just the opposite. So she creates hope, this ghost of good and pure hope. And she creates it and she puts it in the box. And she tells Zeus, there, I've created something for your box. Now you should be happy. Zeus closes up the box, puts a little like scotch tape on the top of it, picks it up, and it's like Operation Pandora Part 2, and then takes off running. Runs all the way down to Prometheus' house and bangs on the front door. Prometheus is up there. Epimetheus. Wrong person. My apologies. Rewind. Get rid of Prometheus. Epimetheus. Epimetheus' house. Goes up there, knocks on the door. Epimetheus then comes in. He's like, what's going on? Zeus kicks the door. Boom! Comes running in, slams the door behind him. He's like, he's like, what's going on? What's going on? Is a dinosaur chasing you? He's just like, what's a dinosaur? I mean, he's like, I don't know, but it sounds scary. He's like, no, there's no dinosaurs. Here's what I need you to do. Can you do me a solid, buddy? And Epimetheus is like, yeah, I'll do you a solid. What's going on? He goes, all right. And he puts the box down onto the ground. And he goes, listen, here's what I need. I need you to keep this box safe and do not open it under any circumstances. Just hold on to it and keep it safe and keep it in a closet for, I don't know, I'll be back for it when I can. It's just really important. Do not tell Hera about the box. If she comes around asking, tell her you've never seen it. You have no idea what she's talking about. You play completely innocent. You got it? You've got to do this for me, man. You owe me. And Epimetheus is like, yeah, okay, I got you. It's not a problem. Keep the box. Don't open it. Don't tell Hera. I've got your back. She's like, okay. All right, I'll be back for you. See you later, man. And goes out and shuts the door. And he's like, he. Operation Pandora Part 2 in effect. Well, later that night, Pandora gets back from shopping, or like her big shopping bag. She's like, honey, I'm home. And she sets him down, and she's like, as she's walking into the house, before she sets down, she like trips over the box. Ah! And the eggs go crashing onto the ground. She's like, Epimetheus. He's like, yes, dear. She goes, there's a box in the hallway. Epimetheus goes, there is? What's in the box? We should... And before they get a chance to open, he goes, wait, no! And pushes Pandora out of the way. She's like, ah! And goes falling to the side. He's like, no, don't open it. She's like, what's going on? He goes, oh, I remembered. Zeus gave us that box. She goes, is it a present? He goes, no. He told us, get this right, do not open the box under any circumstances, and don't tell Hera about it, and he'll come back for it. That was what he told us, and I remembered it, and I'm a big kid. Big man, big boy, big, I don't know, something like that. And she's like, you're a special boy. And he's like, yes, I am. She goes, okay. She goes, well, that's fine. We'll just push it to the back of the room, I guess. We'll just make it part of the furniture. It's like, yeah. And she pushes it into the back of the room. Does her best to not think anything about it. But she can't put it out of her mind, no matter how hard she tries. The reason she can't put it out of her mind and can't stop thinking about it is because...
Kernel
of
Curiosity.
The Kernel of Curiosity. See, I played that one. Perfectly done. It makes me feel better. I have a recording like a random kid I can just play, and it makes me feel better. This Kernel of Curiosity, which works out perfectly, keeps sparking in the back of her head. So she's like walking to the house, like dusting. She sees the box. She's like, all right. So eventually she goes over and dusts the box. She's like, I'm dusting the box. But when she does, all of a sudden the box moves. And it just goes, and jumps around. She's like, ah! She's like, how did you, something wrong with that box? She's like, that box spoke. Okay, now I'll just, and she walks away. But then she comes back. She's like, oh, there's got to be something. What's going on with this box? And no matter how much she tries to forget it, she can't. So she keeps getting closer and closer to the box. And eventually she knocks on it. She's like, box! And the box, and then she's like, ah! And then she goes over the things that Epimetheus told her, and she comes up with an idea. She goes, wait a minute. This box is a large box. Every time I touch it, it jumps around and makes noise. Zeus gave it to us and told us to hide it from Hera, and does not want Hera to know about it. She figures out what's inside the box. She figures there's only one thing that Zeus would try to hide from Hera and not want her to know about. Yes, kid?
A friendly woman.
Nicely done. A friendly woman. And so Pandora realizes Zeus is hiding a woman trapped inside of the box in her house. She's like, oh my Zeus, I'm a party of kidnapping. So she decides she has to solve this problem. She's like, well, you know what? I can't just leave a woman trapped in a box. It's been 4 days already. And that's coronavirus trap. That's the worst thing in the possible world. So she decides that she's going to give the person in the box a sandwich. So she goes and makes a nice ham and peanut butter sandwich. Ham and then peanut butter. Cuts off the crust and stuff like that. Because it's delicious. Stop, sassy child. I'm sorry. Forgot I played sassy child button. And then takes the ham and peanut butter and a cup of lemonade. Because lemonade's delicious. It goes great with ham and peanut butter. So there's a good chance one of you today is going to have a ham and peanut butter sandwich for lunch. Because you're like, he told a story about ham and peanut butter. Now I'm intrigued. What would a ham and peanut butter sandwich taste like? You know what? There's only one way to find out. Go downstairs, get some bread, some peanut butter, put some ham on there, and you bite into that boy, and you go, oh my God, this is disgusting, and you throw it at the ground. But you have to learn, and that's how the first step goes. All right, so back to here. So she takes her ham and peanut butter sandwich with the crust cut off and the glass of lemonade, and she goes over to the box. She's like, tippy-toe, 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 tippy-toe. And she knocks on it. She's like, woman in the box! And he goes, rah, 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 and starts shaking it. She jumps like, hey, I'm going to give you some food so you don't die, and making weird growly sounds because that's kind of spooky. You should probably get some therapy for that. And the box like, rah, rah, rah. She's like, oh yeah, that's the thing I'm talking about. Okay, and she undoes the little lock. She's like, ka-chink, tink, and pops open a little bit. She's like, all right, I'm going to throw the sandwich and lemonade in now. Be careful. And she pops it open, throws in a sandwich, throws in the lemonade, and puts the thing back down. Problem is, Zeus had Hephaestus design a special lock on this box, where once it had been shut, if it was ever opened again, it would never latch. So as soon as she broke that open, she broke the spell that Hephaestus had made, and it could never be relatched again. So after she threw in the peanut butter and ham, and threw in the lemonade, and tried to shut it, the lock would just sit there and flap. And so she's like, oh, it won't flap. And it's flapping back and forth, and the box starts jumping, and she freaks out and jumps back, and when she does, the lid, boom, comes flying open. When it does, out fly all of these horrible, evil ghosts. All the ones that the different Olympians had put in there come flying out of the box and start flying around the world. And this is how Zeus gets revenge on humans. Up until now, there was no evil in the world. There was only goodness. So Zeus gets revenge on humans for getting fire by giving them all of these evils. And the best part is, Zeus does not get blamed for it. Who gets all the blame for releasing the evils into the world?
Pandora.
Pandora does. And Zeus goes, not my fault. I told them not to open it. Legally, I am free and clear. There is only one person to blame. Women. No. 6th period. I can feel that again. You just rolled your eyes. He says, women did it. And it is because of them. I, a man, am perfectly innocent. He does a little innocent. Ding! And of course, Pandora's like, it's not my fault. I didn't know. I thought I was trying to get it. And all of these evils come flying out. And a lot of it was similar to the Slimer thing, from Ghostbusters again. They'd fly throughout the world. And when an evil thing flew through you, you would have a residue of that evil. So if the greed ghost flew through you, you would have a greed residue left on you. And you would feel greedy until it flew back. Well, humankind was not ready for this level of evil and anger. And so it almost wipes everyone out, except for one thing prevents humans from giving up and just dying. And that one thing that prevents them from just giving up?
Hope.
Hope. Good job. Hit my button again. Hope comes out and flies around, and every time it goes through people, I can't take it. The world is awful, and people are bullies, and they're all greedy, and I'm just going to give. And the hope would go through, but tomorrow is another day, and someday I'll get to see Mr. Broviak in person and not watch just a video, and I get to run up to him and give him a high five and go, coronavirus! And the hope was there, and because of Athena, humankind did not die off, and life was happy. So that is our story of Pandora and hope and fun stuff like that. So again, to help you out on my website, you can go to, there's a Prometheus story and a Pandora story, and so they're sort of connected together. The Pandora story is actually pretty short. I gave you the longer version because it's kind of fun to tell. But that is your story for today. But tomorrow, I'm going to kill one of you because we're going to take a tour of the underworld. Sorry, hiccup. And we're going to find out what happens when you die and go to the underworld. Be safe. Wash your hands for 12 minutes at a time. Gargle bleach. Or, whatever kids are doing nowadays. Make sure that you go onto social media to interact with me because we have the social media thing going on right now. And realize, I miss you guys. Be good. Love you. I mean, not you. I love that random kid sitting over there. Loving you would be awkward. So, not worrying about it. What? We have to end the video now. Okay, bye. Talk to you later.